Tonight at 5 o'clock, we kicked off War on Meth, 3 nights of special coverage on the methamphetamine epidemic here in Northwest Florida. You found out why these people use meth and what it does to your body.
Well, News Channel 7's Nicole Morton joins us live in our studios for the second part of her report, focusing on a former addict and her fight to recover. Nicole?
Thanks, Nisa. Tonight at 5 o'clock, we introduce you to Rachel Hamrick. For nearly 6 years, Rachel lived with a shadow of death over her shoulder. By her own admission, she was this close to becoming another tragic meth statistic. Her quick smile and sparkling eyes offer no hint of a life once dependent on crystal meth.
I don't believe that I'd be alive today if I was still using.
At 18, Hamrick had already been in and out of jail and detox 4 times.
The longer you do it, the more addicted you get to it. And then the fun somewhere stops along the way when you realize that you have a problem. And then you feel, because you have done it for so long, you feel like you'll never be able to stop.
As much as she craved the high she got from meth, it's the crash afterwards that Hamrick remembers most.
And I remember, feeling like guilty and feeling like my body had just been through so much, physically, because it takes so much out of you physically.
It was one of those crashes that finally convinced Hamrick she was over the edge.
I was crossing over the Hathaway Bridge, and I remember all the drugs hitting me at one time. And I felt like I was going to pass out, and everything got dizzy, and I knew that I was in trouble. I knew what was about to happen, and I started to press on the gas, like just thinking, I just got to get home, I got to get home. And that's the last thing I remember. They said that the cops found me underneath the red light on Thomas Drive.
Hamrick was in a coma for 6 hours. When she finally came to, she was all alone. Since her family was used to her leaving for days at a time, she laid there helpless and hopeless in a local hospital.
I almost died, and no one even knew. And would anyone really even care? Because of what I had done in my life, it was like I had no purpose.
Hamrick went back to jail and detox for a 5th time.
When I first got to jail, because of using drugs for so long, it took me 2 months to even get my mind back. I was so, everything was so foggy, like I was in a haze. I couldn't think, I couldn't concentrate. I was going through withdrawals. My body hurt, physically. So it took a good 2 months to even feel normal.
It gave her time to think about what she was throwing away: her children, her family, and her health.
I wanted my son back. I wanted my life back. I just began to go to church, the church that's offered in the jail, and that's when, I began to learn about God, and I began to learn about His way. And I just chose to walk His way and not my own anymore.
At 29 years old today, Hamrick is living proof there is life after meth, and she credits God with deliverance.
For the first time in my life, I have a purpose. My favorite place to be in the world is teaching at the jail, because I was there, and I can feel their pain, and I just want them to know that they don't have to live like that, because when you're in it, you think that that's the way your life is going to be, and it's not going to change. You really feel hopeless. You feel hopeless because you're helpless. You're helpless to the addiction. You're helpless to the drugs. You're helpless to the lifestyle that you created.
Sober for 5 years now, her faith freed her from the bondage of crystal meth.
I want to thank y'all for coming to the Most Excellent Way tonight, especially those of you that are here for the first time.
She's found a new home as a mentor at the Most Excellent Way, a faith-based support group for men and women battling addiction.
Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. And the statement that goes along with that is, I stand firm in my faith that Jesus is in control of all things. Just telling my story keeps me sober, because it reminds me of what God has done in my life this far.
She hopes to reach the torn and the hopeless with a living message.
You're not alone. There's other people that have walked through what you've walked through, and it's possible to get victory.
If you know anyone that may need help, please call before it's too late.
All right, Nicole, thank you very much. News Channel 7's Nicole Morton wrapping up the first part of our series on the war on meth.
Well, as we said tonight at 5, part of our mission with this series of special reports is to educate you about the problem. The other is to offer solutions or help.
Members of the Bay County Sheriff's Office with us this evening in our studios tonight to take your phone calls on the War on Meth hotline. We also have our representatives from Chemical Addiction Recovery Effort, or CARE, on the phones. If you know about a meth lab or any illegal drug activity and you want to report it, the Sheriff's Office would like to hear from you. You can remain anonymous. These phones are not on caller ID. They're not being recorded. It's just you and the person on the other end.
Or if your loved one is using meth or another illegal drug and you want help quitting, our representative from CARE will be happy to talk to you and give you that information. The number